I found this brass object, about 6 inches long, while going through my grandpa's things after he passed. At first, I thought it was a pipe because of its shape, but there is no continuous airway. The dragon head, on what I assumed, was the bowl hinges, open to reveal an empty cavity, and the head of a small brush that runs through the length of the piece. If it's not a pipe, does anyone know what it is? What you found is a yatate, a traditional Japanese portable writing set. Historically, yatate were used from the Kamakura period beginning in the late 12th century and became especially popular during the Edo period from the 17th to the 19th century. They were practical tools for travelers, merchants, and samurai who needed a convenient way to write on the go. Unlike traditional inkstones, which required grinding solid ink with water, the yatate contained ink-soaked cotton in its small compartment. By touching a calligraphy brush to the cotton, one could ink the bristles with reduced risk of dripping or spilling ink, making it a cleaner and more efficient alternative. The brush was stored inside the shaft, while the compartment under the dragon head was designed to keep the ink-soaked cotton from drying out. The intricate dragon motif on your yatate suggests that it may have belonged to someone of high status. Dragons were often used in Japanese art to symbolize strength, protection, and wisdom. Yatate also became a symbol of literacy and refinement. They were often gifted to scholars and officials, representing the importance of education and culture. I saw this unusual device at a Goodwill store. It has a brown plastic body with a black knob and a metal mechanism at the top. When I spin the black knob, the metal hook rotates. I have no idea what it's used for. Does anyone know what this device is? What you've found is a vintage buttonholer attachment, a device designed to create buttonholes using a standard sewing machine. Before the 1970s, most household sewing machines didn't have a built-in buttonhole stitch. To address this, companies developed attachments like this one, making it easier for people to sew precise buttonholes without manual measuring and stitching. One of the most well-known manufacturers of buttonholers was the Grist Manufacturing Company. They produced attachments for Singer and other leading sewing machine brands from the 1940s to the 1980s. Buttonholers often came in compact cases with various templates for different buttonhole sizes and shapes, adding versatility to their use. These attachments became incredibly popular among home sewers, offering both convenience and professional quality results. I bought this wooden box at a yard sale in Corbridge, England, but the seller didn't know what it was. It has no markings or writing, and its shape somewhat resembles a telephone. The inside is hollow, so something could be stored in it, but I'm not sure what. I even thought it might be a doorstop, but I haven't found anything similar. Does anyone know what this is? The wooden box you purchased is likely an antique tinderbox, a container historically used for storing materials to start fires before the invention of modern matches. Tinderboxes were essential household items from ancient times until the 19th century. They typically contained flint, fire steel, and tinder, materials like sawdust, moss, or other easily flammable substances. A spark would be introduced to a small pile of tinder, and by blowing gently on it, enough embers would form to ignite small sticks or kindling. Considering the origin of your box from Corbridge in northeast England, it's possible that it was used in the coal mining industry during its 19th century peak. Coal mining was one of the region's major industries. In underground environments, using tinder for fire starting may have been a safer option compared to matches due to the presence of flammable gases like fire damp. Unlike matches, which can ignite accidentally, tinder stored in a box would not catch fire on its own. What is this small wooden box with tiny dolls inside? My grandmother had it on her cabinet, and I think she bought it in Japan many years ago. There are no markings on the back, just some Japanese characters on the front. Does anyone know what this is? What you found is a display representing the 7 lucky gods, known in Japan as Shichifuku-jin. These gods are iconic figures in Japanese folklore, each symbolizing a specific form of good fortune or blessing. The tradition of the 7 lucky gods dates back to Japan's Muromachi period, which lasted from the 14th to the 16th century and gained further popularity during the Edo period from the 17th to the 19th century. The 7 lucky gods include Ebisu, the god of fishermen and commerce, Daikokuten, the god of wealth and agriculture, Bishamonten, the god of warriors, Benzaiten, the goddess of knowledge, arts, and beauty, Fukurokuju, the god of longevity and wisdom. Jirogen, another god associated with longevity. Hote, the god of happiness and abundance. These figures are often depicted together, symbolizing a well-rounded blessing for all aspects of life. In many Japanese households, especially around the New Year, miniature sets of the 7 lucky gods are displayed to bring good fortune. My boss, who collects vintage items, gave me a mission to identify this device. It's about 1 foot tall and nearly 2 feet wide at the base. It can plug into the wall, but it no longer works, so I wasn't able to test it. The metal disc on the front swivels, but I have no idea what the device was used for. Does anyone know what this is? This device is an atoms retouching machine, a specialized tool used in the early to mid-20th century for photo retouching. Before the digital era, photographers and photo studios relied on machines like this to manually enhance and correct negatives. Developed by the Atoms Retouching Company, this device helped photographers meticulously adjust details, remove imperfections, and improve the overall appearance of photographs. The machine worked by illuminating the negative from behind while the user viewed it through a magnifying lens. The rotating metal disc allowed adjustments to the intensity and angle of the light, making blemishes and imperfections more visible for precise retouching. Photographers used fine brushes and special dyes to make corrections directly on the film. This level of manual work required significant skill and patience, and it was a common practice in professional portrait studios to ensure clients received flawless prints. Atoms retouching machines were particularly useful for tasks like smoothing skin tones, reducing wrinkles, or removing stray hairs. This object washed up on the beach in Montauk. It appears to be a large, heavily corroded mechanical piece, possibly made of metal, with what looks like circular segments or gears. Does anyone know what it is? The object you discovered appears to be a heavily corroded anchor windlass, a mechanical device traditionally used on ships to manage the raising and lowering of anchors. Anchor windlasses are integral to a vessel's anchoring system, utilizing a notched wheel to engage the anchor chain or rope, thereby controlling the anchor's deployment and retrieval. They are typically categorized into 2 main types, horizontal and vertical. Horizontal windlasses feature an above-deck gearbox and motor assembly with a horizontal shaft, while vertical windlasses, or capstans, have a vertical shaft with the motor and gearbox situated below deck. Judging by its structure and design, what you found is most likely a part of a horizontal anchor windlass. I came across these fabric-like notes during a demolition, along with some old money. They feature intricate designs and text, and I found them in Australia. Does anyone know what these notes are? What you found are commemorative banknotes known as Notgeld, issued in 1921 to celebrate the 700th anniversary of Bielefeld, Germany. Unlike traditional paper currency, these notes were made from fabric materials such as linen and silk, reflecting the city's textile heritage. During the early 20th century, the concept of Notgeld, or emergency money, became widespread in Germany, particularly during times of economic uncertainty. While most Notgeld was produced from paper, Bielefeld's fabric notes stood out due to their elaborate design and fine craftsmanship. Many of them showcased architectural landmarks, folkloric imagery, and symbolic motifs, celebrating the city's legacy. The use of high-quality fabric not only made them durable, but also turned them into cherished souvenirs. Though they had a nominal monetary value, their primary purpose was to serve as collectible keepsakes rather than actual currency. These fabric banknotes are highly valued by collectors today, both for their artistic merit and their historical significance. I found this old cast iron device outside my apartment complex. It has a large crank handle, gears, and what looks like a pressing mechanism. Someone had thrown it out right next to the dumpster. Does anyone know what this is? The item you found is an antique cast iron sausage stuffer, manufactured by the Enterprise Manufacturing Company of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Established in 1864, Enterprise was renowned for producing a variety of household and industrial devices, including coffee mills, cherry pitters, and meat processing equipment. The company operated until 1956, when it was acquired by Silex Company. This particular sausage stuffer was designed to efficiently fill sausage casings with ground meat. The device features a large crank handle connected to a gear system, which drives a piston to press meat through a nozzle into the casing. In the years that followed, the company made significant improvements to its sausage stuffer. As described in United States Patent 793-484, granted in 1905 to inventor Michael Wenrich, the updated design featured a dual-cylinder mechanism that enabled nearly continuous operation. While one cylinder was being emptied, the other could be refilled, streamlining the stuffing process. I found this Hot Wheels accessory that takes 3 batteries. It has a small retractable piece between the 2 metal contacts and is marked with 1996 Mattel. Does anyone know what this is? What you found is a charger for the Hot Wheels motorized XV Racers, a series of motorized toy cars produced by Mattel from 1996 to 2000. These cars had built-in motors that allowed them to race along tracks or flat surfaces without the need for manual pushing. The charger, often called the power base booster, was an essential accessory for these vehicles. The charging process was simple. The car would be positioned on the metal contacts of the charger, with its retractable piece aligning to ensure a connection. Once fully charged, the car could run for a short time, adding excitement to races. I've noticed these mysterious pipes of various sizes emerging from the ground all over Sweden. They are often, but not always, located near drains. I've even asked several Swedes in academia, but no one seems to know what they are. They appear by buildings, in the middle of streets, and sometimes in the spaces between parallel roads. Does anyone know what these pipes are for? The pipes, you noticed, are ventilation pipes, commonly used in sewage systems. Their purpose is to allow gases to escape, preventing the buildup of pressure and ensuring the smooth operation of the drainage system. The curved design, often called a swan neck, helps keep rainwater, debris, and pests from entering the pipes. Ventilation is an essential aspect of sewage systems, especially in densely populated areas where maintaining airflow is crucial to prevent unpleasant odors and ensure safety. In certain cases, particularly in older urban areas, they could act as vents for underground civil defense shelters. Sweden constructed numerous bunkers during the Cold War, and adequate ventilation was necessary to sustain air quality in these shelters. The swan neck vents ensured fresh air could reach the underground spaces, making them habitable in the event of an emergency. My friend spotted this BMW with European plates and several devices attached to it, while driving around in northeast Ohio near Cleveland. It had what looked like radar or laser equipment on it. I've never seen foreign plates around here, except for Canadian or Mexican ones. Does anyone know why it might have this equipment? The car your friend saw is likely a test vehicle used by BMW for developing autonomous driving technologies. BMW employs such vehicles equipped with various sensors and cameras to collect data and test driver assistance systems across different environments. These test vehicles have been reported in multiple countries, including the United States, as part of BMW's global efforts to advance self-driving car capabilities. The presence of European plates suggests that the vehicle is part of BMW's international testing fleet. I got this at a yard sale in Massachusetts and was told it was a bad luck charm. I'm curious if anyone knows more about it. The item you've acquired is commonly referred to as an Asmat man, a hand-carved wooden figure originating from the Asmat people of southwestern New Guinea, Indonesia. Renowned for their intricate wood carvings, the Asmat create these figures to honor ancestors and embody spiritual beliefs. Each Asmat man is unique, reflecting the individual artisan's craftsmanship and the cultural significance imbued in the carving. These figures are often found at trading shops near tourist spots. In the past, they have also been carried by retailers in the United States, such as PacSun and Hobby Lobby. Despite their commercialization, these carvings retain their cultural heritage, offering insight into the Asmat people's rich artistic traditions. In the last video, I asked you to guess what this small cardboard chip might be used for. Everyone had great guesses, and many of you got it right. This item is a POG. It was part of a popular game in the 1990s in the United States. Thank you to everyone who participated and shared your guesses. A special shout out to Kaz for being the first to correctly identify it. Alright, it's time for another mystery item. Take a look at this strange ceramic jar. It has a unique design with just one opening. What do you think it is used for? Leave your guesses in the comments, and I'll reveal the answer in the next video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Your support motivates me to create more videos. See you next time.